Good evening, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good night, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, the following is a collection of news from Patriots. Let me share some info with you. And it looks like the federal judge has handed President Trump a victory in court today pertaining to the FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago and their theft of thousands and hundreds of thousands of documents that they claimed that they only took a few things that they were looking for. In fact, they took so many other things. They reminisce through many things they were allowed to rummage through, and could potentially have plenty of evidence there at Mar-a-Lago. So this judge ruling today is a huge news in the fact that Trump is again battling these corrupt forces within the government in order to continue to work on possible run in 2024. So let's go and pull up what we have here. It says this here: Judge Cannon rules in favor of Trump, rejects a special master's request on seized documents. Judge Cannon on Thursday ruled in favor of Trump and rejecting Special Master Raymond Dear's request to have Trump's legal team verified that the government inventory log of seized items are accurate. ABC News reported Special Master Raymond Dear last Thursday asked President Trump's lawyers to prove that the FBI planted evidence during his reign or Mar-a-Lago in August. Judge Dear gave Trump's legal team to September 30th deadline to submit the declaration. Trump's legal team Wednesday night in filing said Biden's corrupt Justice Departments actually seized 200,000 pages of documents from Mar-a-Lago. The DOJ told the court that they only seized 11,000 documents. Trump's lawyers allege that 11,000 documents actually tallied up to 200,000 pages, which is why so many vendors have declined and potential engagement. The problem is compounded by the fact that the plaintiff's counsel referred to either 11,000 pages or even 11,000 documents during the status conference, where we are still awaiting the transcript. The government chose not to interject with the actual number in conversation between the plaintiff's counsel and the government regarding a data vendor. The government mentioned that the 11,000 documents contained closer to 200,000 pages. The lawyer said Trump's lawyers argued that the time frame given to scan the documents is too narrow. Trump will no longer have to produce a declaration by September 30th. Deadline. The Florida federal judge Cannon on Thursday rejected a request from a special master. She appointed to review documents seized by the former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago state to have Trump's team verified, and the government inventory log of the seized items are accurate. Cannon's ruling again hands another process went to Trump's legal team. So we'll see how this continues to play out in court as Trump and his legal team continues to fight against the corrupt Biden regime and its proxy of the DOJ and FBI, who are rogue institutions at this point, who are doing the bidding of their political masters in order to go after their political opponents. And this is what they are designed to do at this point. And, alright folks, we are going to show how we call them Democrats, and we call them Dems for short. But I think Dems just means dementia. And it's not just Joe Biden we're talking about, or as Joe Biden would say, it's not just Joe Biden we're talking about, when he does that creepy whispering thing. Also, we've got great news. President Trump is trudging along and winning in court and winning against the FBI in this whole Mar-a-Lago attack on him. Yeah, it's an attack. It's a political attack. So weaponizing of the Justice Department and the FBI, which has been weaponized against President Trump since he came down the escalator in 2015. We're gonna get into that good news. And then we're gonna get into the bad news that the purge is real. It's not something that we're saying that makes us anti-American. It's the absolute truth. Okay. DAM is for dementia. Interesting report from Business Insider. Here is their headline yesterday. Senator Dianne Feinstein chide staffers. Why would Dianne Feinstein chide those staffers? Why is she reprimanding them? Well, here we go. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein grew frustrated with staffers trying to prep her for what's becoming a routine, or what was it? What's the routine vote yesterday on Thursday? The internal discussion, which took place along a bank of elevators in the Senate basement, and was loud enough for Insider to overhear. Business Insider is reporting on this because this took place publicly so loudly that they heard what she said. So her team was trying to prep her on the stopgap bill that the Senate passed, and they were trying to prep her before she was going into the elevators up to the chambers to vote. And this is where she said, "I don't even know what that is." She was arguing and chiding her staff members who are trying to prep her for a simple yes vote on a stopgap spending bill. And she was like, "I don't even know what that is." She has what it But she passed this bill that included $12.3 billion for Ukraine. Wow. She had no idea what the stopgap funding bill is, but he voted for it. But of course, doesn't matter, they have dementia, doesn't matter what their hands you grabby, doesn't matter if they if they lie, cheat, steal, if they break the law, if they weaponize the government for their purposes, Democrats get away with everything. And you hear anything about impeachment, or removing Dianne Feinstein, the California senator, she's 89 years old. And she finished his out return and she'll be 91 when she ends. Not a 91-year-old that's, got her wits about her and is very much aware of what's going on. She has got age-related cognitive decline, because Dianne Feinstein was a sharp cookie. And she doesn't even know what a stopgap is, as she votes for it. And it's so funny how the mainstream media and local media shows for her. But interestingly enough, her own San Francisco Chronicle, they actually outline how bad of a shape she was. I'd covered it earlier this year. And there's tons of Democrats who are quietly but pushing for her to just retire before her term expires. She didn't even know what she voted on. She was being prepped and then she got honoring with them. Anyone who's dealt with people with age-related cognitive decline, dementia, now this is one of the things they get really honored, and they get impatient because they don't understand, they're confused. That is Dianne Feinstein, yet she's being propped up. Weekend at Bernie's isn't just in the Oval Office of the White House. It's also at the Capitol building, in the form of them carrying around Dianne Feinstein, propping up Joe Biden. The whole system is corrupt, and we haven't even touched the surface of it. Of what we're going to talk about in this episode. By the way, I had seen We're Going to Bernie's now as a kid, probably in junior high. What I was kind of funny. Most of the slapstick was stuff. That's funny. But I watched it again. I think I rented it. They even paid to watch it. I don't know if it was on his streaming services over the summer. I watched it. And it's not the greatest movie, but 80s movies, but it's pretty funny, especially when it's just like, everyone just goes with the okey doke of Bernie. I mean, he's dead. And they're just doing the things of them. Joe Biden does not have forget any questions you have on whether Joe Biden should be in the Oval Office. And you know what I mean by that, put that aside, the guy can't do the job. And Kamala Harris is even worse. Oh boy, that fiasco she had yesterday over on the demilitarized zone. She went into North Korea, no one greeted her. It wasn't like when President Trump went. A couple of people were just like, they got him on camera, a couple North Koreans just peeked to see her and then closed the window they were looking at. She had binoculars on, she's like, it's so close. And an officer said, ma'am, it's 50 meters away, ma'am. So and then if we look at it, we've got heels up. We've got Willie Brownside chick, who will give any airy ditzy airhead a run for their money with dizziness. I mean, how many times have I played a word salad, she said on this program. I played it the other day. We're here to accomplish the goals. And so we can get together because we have common goals that we're going to accomplish. And we're going to accomplish the goal of accomplishing our goals, and talking about the goals that we are going to accomplish together is essentially what she said the other day. And then next in line is Nancy Pelosi, also another geriatric. Nothing wrong with that, I'm getting older. I'm now thinking, maybe 50s. And he's 30 as I progressed through my 40s. And just age is part of the thing, right? And I look at my demographics here, many of you secure older than your 50s, 60s and older. But we know when one of our peers isn't up to the task. And not everyone is able to survive cognitively into their 80s and 90s. I have a sister I worship with, she is 97 or 98. Sharp as a tack there every Sunday for services, contributes friendly. Would know. She's approximating 100. Then I have my dear grandmother, who is going to be 98. This December, healthy as physically very healthy, can have a conversation with you. But she slips into it. Right. But the Democrats don't care. They prop up dementia. The 25th Amendment, all those things, though, only goes one way. Only one way to get Trump out of office. Ridiculous. Well, let's see what the guy in the Oval Office with dementia is doing. He is preparing to sign an executive order to protect 600,000 illegal immigrants. What's this about? This is about DACA. Okay. Mrs. NBC News reporting. So Doc has been going to the courts, right? DACA was created by the executive order of Obama because he couldn't work with and wasn't having success with it. So he said, hey, we're just gonna do DACA, just created the DACA program. Unlawfully. President Trump by executive order says no, we're gonna deal with DACA, and somehow it gets upheld. There's no you can't, by executive order, undo an executive order, even though Joe Biden has undone executive orders of President Trump and he has even waived executive privilege of a previous president. Once again, the Democrat, you can get away with anything. And we mean anything literally. Rape, sexual assault, murder, lying, stealing, cheating in all its forms. Totally get away with it. So this is going through the courts, and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals is most likely going to rule, and the Supreme Court already knows they're going to take up the case, and they know they're going to lose, that DACA is going the way of the dodo bird. DACA is going to go like dodo bye-bye. So what they're trying to do is get ahead of it. And the Fifth Circuit is expected to end the program, and the Supreme Court has already indicated it would affirm such a ruling. So sources close to the White House told journalists at NBC News that they are working on this executive order to temporarily shield these DACA migrants from deportation. Under the order, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials will be directed to deprioritize deporting DACA recipients, and refrain from deporting them, if they aren't deemed threats to public safety or national security. They're desperate to do by executive order. And of course, Obama got away with this big time because, hey, folks, if you haven't noticed, we are living through the third term of one Barack Hussein Obama. Let's get into some Trump news here. By the way, Trump is the greatest presidential golfer in history. And Biden is lying about his handicap. Several of his handicaps. DC Inquirer. Golf Digest published a list of the top 20 golf handicaps of all the presidents of the United States. President Trump won first place by almost 5 points. He has a 2.8 handicap. Joe Biden the liar and cheater. You play with a golf or the guy says, oh, I have a 6 handicap. But he actually has a 6.7. Yeah, you might, if you're a better player than that, because he overselling his ability. He is not at a 6 handicap. Golf Digest says it's a 6.7. And rounding out the top, just so you're aware, is JFK with the Senate as 7 handicap and FDR with an 8. Joe Biden lies about everything and anything, even if it's not necessary. But that's not the real Trump news you want to share? I mean, we want to share that it's just a cool winky dink or inadequate getting. It's a trivial, interesting trivia. Unless like you vote on who's a better golfer than in 2024. You're going to want to vote for Trump. Yesterday, Judge Eileen Cannon ruled in favor of Trump and rejected the special master's requests. Let's get into this. Special Master Raymond Deering last Thursday asked President Trump's lawyer to prove the FBI planted evidence during its raid of Mar-a-Lago. In August, he gave the Trump's legal team until today to submit a declaration. Well, a couple days ago, President Trump's legal team filed a filing saying that Biden's corrupt Justice Department actually seized not the 11,000 documents, but 200,000 pages of documents. I covered this a few days ago. They always said how many documents, they never gave a page number. And now we have a page count of a page count on a page number, page count of 200,000 pages. And that's why President Trump's team could not get some professionals to come in and scan those documents, because the time frame they were given was too short. And no one wanted to engage or to get that job from them, going, we don't have enough time to do this job. As I reported, they say, hey, we need more time. Can we have that? Can we hire someone and they tell you how long it will take for them to scan? Plus there's been delays in the FBI getting that information to be spec scan the first place. That shouldn't surprise you, that they're sandbagging, slowing down the process over on the FBI side as well. They're trying to run out the clock for the midterms, keep President Trump in the news as some sort of criminal. Well, here we go. Judge Eileen yesterday ruled in favor of Trump and rejected Special Master Raymond Dearing's request to have Trump's legal team verify that the government inventory of these items is accurate. Judge Cannon's ruling again has yet another process went to Trump's legal team, which will now no longer face the same deadline to state on the record whether they would dispute any of the items listed on the government's detailed inventory. But check this out. There's even more to this. Judge Cannon has extended the deadline for Special Master Dearing to complete his review, give them like another 16 days from November 30th to December 16th. And there's more rather complete route than complying with the previous plan to have Trump provide a rolling production of the documents he's seeking to assert privilege over throughout the review. Ken is now requiring Trump only submit a comprehensive log at the end of their review. So instead of having to produce periodic rolling production of the things that saying, hey, this is executive privilege, etc., he can do it at the end, which takes some bottlenecks out of the process and makes it easier for Trump and his legal team. Judge Canada says that she's doing this to, quote, avoid confusion and enhance organization and clear deadlines. In other words, he's trying to streamline the process and make it easier for Trump, while the FBI is trying to make things more difficult and honor us. I'm liking Judge Cannon a lot. She seems very fair. Not just Trump-sided, but hey, you're making these allegations. Government, prove it. And don't put the burden of proof on Trump. But Trump, you still have to produce these items? That seems fair to me. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. If you're up for it, I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching.